We're going live?
Yep.
Okay, hi, George Markoski at Positive Property. Now, I've had an interesting question about, we've got the coffee a day investing system, and how's that going to work, and how do you know capital growth is going to happen in Australia? It's a great question, and thank you for asking the question. And what I want to do is I want to discuss that today and talk about demographics and demand and supply and things like that. So, in Australia, one thing about Australia, we're not very globalised, and over 70% of our GDP is actually internally produced, right? You can hear that car over there. Let me just shut this. Anyway, so it's internally produced. So what happens is we rely on our own economy, and because there could be a bit of world economic slowdown, one thing about Australia is, just watch your head, Christina, one thing about Australia is we're going to be a lot safer. We're going to be a lot safer because we're going to be able to be more resilient because most of our GDP is internal, right? Now, anyway, let's talk about demographics. What makes property go up in value? There's one very, very simple thing. It's called supply and demand. So when you've got less supply and more demand, property prices go up. And when you've got less supply, we got more supply and less demand, property prices go down. So you look at Japan. Japan's got a negative growth in their population, and because of that, since the 1990s, their property price has been slowly going down. Not hugely, but they have been going down consistently because they've got a zero immigration policy. They don't like people immigrating to the country, zero immigration, so therefore that's the way it is. So Australia, for example, we're very different. We've got a lot of immigration, heaps actually. Actually, we've got more growth population-wise in Australia than any other first world country in the world. And a lot of us talk about China and how China's growing. Australia's actually growing 3 times faster than China. You know why, don't you? Because the Chinese are moving here. But it's true. So the Chinese, they're going to be spending $60 billion in property in Australia over the next 5 years or so. So it's pretty big and amazing. But also, demographically wise, Australia is one of the 3 unicorns in the world where the economy is going up and so is the population going up. So Australia is the number 1, then you've got New Zealand, then you've got Israel. These 3 countries are special because the population is going up and the economy is going up. Then you've got other countries that are staying stagnant, and then you've got other countries that are going down. So you need money going up and you need population going up. Because you look at Nigeria, population's going up, but the GDP is not going up. That's the problem. So that's not really going to push property prices up. And you want to invest where there's not a stable government. So how do you keep yourself safe? Well, you need the 3 pillars. 1, you need cash flow. 2, you need growth. 3, you need strategy. When you've got those 3 pillars, you're going to keep yourself safe. Now, with our property system, and I call it the coffee a day property system because I don't like to spend more than $20 or $30 a week, but in general, in actual fact, a lot of properties that I buy are actually positive, $50, $100, $200 a week. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as they're in the right area. The reason I say $20 or $30 is because that's the sort of the break mark where you don't want to spend more than that. So when you've got a property that's only costing you a coffee a day or it's making you money, even if there's no capital growth, what can happen is you can just wait it out until it goes up. Property prices, over the last 120 years have gone up around 9.4% compounding in Australia. So they basically double every 10 years or so. So I'm very confident next 7, 10, 12 years, 15 years, property is going to double. And look, even if we don't get a lot of capital growth, you get a property and it costs you $20 a week for the first week, then it's slowly going up the rent, and then it doesn't double for another 15 years. It's still not bad. That's the worst case scenario. It's still good. I mean, if you buy a property for $500,000 and then you make $500,000 in 15 years, and it's only costing you $20 a week, it's still worthwhile. So even worst case scenario, property just beats everything else. It's so well. Hope that this answered your question. And please, if you've got any other questions, please ask me the Positive Property Club. I'm happy to answer them. Have a happy Sunday. I'm off to have a bit of brunch. Cheers.